All right, what is going on, my dude? So today we're going to be taking a look at Nebula pre-buff, all right? So that way when we take a look at her post-buff, we have something to compare it to. We're not going to be making a Karnak pre-buff video because he's so bad right now, and I actually made one like 8 months ago, so go check it out if you want. But Nebula, man, both champs are looking pretty cool next month. And I'm definitely pretty excited for Nebula for, a couple of reasons. I think that she has a really nice improvement going on. It really seems like a lot of people, amongst the community tend to agree. I haven't really seen too many people being like, wow, this buff looks bad. It doesn't. I think it looks pretty good, man. And also, Nebula's already kind of cool right now, man, especially if you build her properly with like a nice team as well. Proxima Synergy is really good for her. But yeah, I think we'll leave her at rank 2 for now, and let's build a little team around her. So this is really the team I talked about when, I was doing the buff breakdown. I said that this is going to be like a really good team for her. Another really good champ we could throw on here for her is going to be Guardian. And the reason being is because Guardian can just give her a little more block proficiency. Also, she's going to be getting a nice synergy with Guardian that pauses shock debuffs. I think it's for 0.2 seconds every time she gains a charge. Now, the biggest issue with Nebula now is that she didn't gain charges fast enough. She took too much block damage because of it, right? So it was unrealistic to play her. But this synergy's always been good, allows you to start with 10 charges. This one's good, allows you to start with close to a bar of power if you're on suicides. So that could definitely go a long way in getting to a fast special too, okay? So obviously, for the buffed gameplay, we're going to be looking at her solo and, maybe with the team as well, but mostly just focusing on her solo. But for the pre-buff gameplay, since this is only going to be a thing for another like 10 days, we're going to kind of pimp her out a little bit. We have the Proxima Synergy, we have the Robot Uprising Synergy, we have some increased block proficiency, and let's see what the damage looks like on the Special 2 from a rank 2 Nebula. Alright, so let's jump right in here. Okay, so the way Nebula works basically is you hold block and you build these charges, and as you can see, they take 0.90 seconds to build up, okay? Now, also, if you counter, if you do a heavy attack, I guess, you can't counter every heavy unless you're maybe in the wall, you totally can. See, there we go, boom, boom. A nice little shock there, right? So one downside to Nebula for sure is that you can't really parry with her, or else you'll lose your shocks. But look at this, watch this damage. That's not bad, man. So that was like 250, close to 300,000 damage, right? Just in the first, like 30 seconds of the fight. So that's definitely not bad. So this right here, how we're, holding block here, as you can see, 0.90 seconds each time, okay? It's going to be 0.6 seconds after the buff, which is much, much better. So much improved. That was her biggest thing for me, at least. Another thing is like, a lot of people said like, oh, it's really bad how you can't parry. I don't mind that as much as other people do, to be entirely honest. Because for me, it's like I do so much of like the block holding with her that like I don't feel like I need to parry. But yeah, so this is kind of like her playstyle, which is interesting. She's also getting a new mechanic after the buff, which is going to be essentially allowing her to use a special 3 and kind of be like Thor Ragnarok in a way. Also, another thing she has, if we can get a block here. Another thing she's always had is this power lock here, okay? She's now also going to have a power drain that happens kind of a little bit slower than that, and it's going to be draining their power, right? I think it is 12% of a bar of power per shock. So she could essentially bring them from like 3 bars of power down to below 1 bar of power. But also, another thing you can do with her, like you don't have to build up to, 20 shocks, right? Like this is obviously not as strong, but it's still a decent amount of shock damage, It's still something. And even, let's see, 1 shock into a special 2, how much damage is it? Almost enough to kill him, right? So obviously we're just messing around here. This is not optimal playstyle. We're kind of testing out our special 2, special 1. But even so, man, 65 hits. I don't know how long it took. So watching that fight, right? Those special 2s were freaking enormous, right? What is the problem there? They take too long to build up, okay? So they're essentially going to be getting not twice as fast, but almost twice as fast, about like 33% faster to build up. So that is looking like a really big improvement for me. And like I said, the special 3 is going to activate like a new sort of ability for her in fights where you can't block like that, okay? So that's going to allow her to get to a special 3, attack the opponent, place a lot of shocks, gain amp charges that way, and then build up to a special 2, okay? Another thing that her new SIG ability, if you have her duped, is that if there's a shock on the opponent, you gain power 25% faster, assuming that's at SIG 200, okay? So if you counter, like, you know, with a heavy attack, you put a shock on them, you do a combo, you're going to be getting to your special attacks much faster. So overall, I feel like Nebula is going to be very much so improved. But as it stands right now, she also has some utility already. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what she can do. So first things first, I do want to take her, you know, to our usual testing ground here, just to see like how her damage holds up against like a normal opponent, right? Like not Winter Soldier's stupid AI, 500,000 health, Act 6.4, 222,000 health. You know, a lot of Act 7 opponents have more health nowadays, like 350 plus, right? But yeah, still, we're gonna see what happens, all right? We can counter this, right? No, we can't, but we got it anyway. Yeah, so her heavy attack, wow. Wow, wow. Well, shout out to that regen that she has, man. Okay, boom, boom. Let's build these up. As you can see, obviously, if this was, you know, the buffed version, she'd already have 20 a while ago. So that's clearly the issue with her, right? So now let's see how this special 2 does, though. That's what we wanted to see here. Okay. This is all we care about. Will it kill her? Yeah. Very convincingly. Very convincingly it killed her. So, post-buff, this is going to be so much easier. That's the problem, you know? I mean, like, obviously, I could probably make if I did this again, this was the first attempt. If I did this again, I could probably make that so much prettier and so much easier. Probably finish near 100% health and be like, yo, look how good Nebula is. Doesn't even need a buff, right? No, but it's silly as of right now, you know, because it just takes too long to build up the charges. But the damage is just freaking enormous, man. It is just absolutely nuts. So the next thing I want to test out is her against a robot, because she reduces their ability accuracy by 20% per charge, right? And look at this, there's a Darkhawk here, so it's almost like I planned that, right? Isn't that just like perfect and beautiful? So let's go ahead and check it out, okay? With, you know, what's her face, with Proxima, we're gonna start with 10 charges, so that's minus what, 200%? You know? Because looking at her abilities right now, pre-buff, ability actually of robots is reduced by 20% per charge. Okay. And I'm pretty sure that Darkhawk could be messed up by ability accuracy. So what I want to see is we're gonna knock him down and then see if he auto blocks us. That's what we're gonna do. That's the test. That's our test today. Okay. So we're gonna bait out a heavy attack. Do one of our own. Jesus. All right, let's try that again. Bait out a heavy attack. Okay, this time we're gonna get it. Ready? You know what? We're gonna go for a special 1. I don't like the range on our heavy. I'm gonna say that. I do not enjoy the range on our heavy attack. Let's see if we get auto blocked. We don't get auto blocked, and this is a SIG 200 Darkhawk, right? So obviously, you know, that's gonna go a long way in preventing a lot of things against robots. Like, for example, Nimrod. Nimrod's pretty annoying, right? He's like the newest annoying robot. I feel like hitting Guillotine 2099. Let's see what this does. Yeah, that's not... See, the damage... Yeah, the damage is good, guys. The damage is really good. That's never been a problem. So now, it's actually going... Yeah, man, like... She's gonna have some really nice shock, like easy to access shock damage once this buff comes around. I gotta say one thing though. There were a couple points in the buff breakdown where there was like a developer's note that was like, I really like to counter heavies with heavies, and she does not have, like, unless they're changing it, which I don't know if they are, she does not have like a really nice ranged heavy attack, which is you know, I don't know how much I love doing that. It looked like, I mean, she does like the jump up and down, but it's not like as far reaching as it seems, which is interesting to me, you know. But yeah, so basically I like let's try here. Obviously when, you know, they get close to you, that's going to be good. Yeah, it's obviously going to depend on from champ to champ, but just don't expect to be able to do that against every champion is essentially what I'm saying, you know. Like it doesn't even work against Winter Soldier. But this, like, right, oh my god, like she'd be at 20 a long time ago here in this fight. So let's see here, okay? Let's go for this. And this is probably going to kill him, right? Yeah. Yeah, man. So I'm very excited to see, you know, post-buff, man, what she's able to do. When it comes to, like, shock right now, she's about to be fully immune to shock, and every time a shock effect would happen, she's going to gain 5 charges. That's really good. Right now, what happens is she can do that 3 times, and then she dies from shock. I don't know where it says it in here. It says it somewhere. Yeah, right on top, right on top. See? So Nebula can purify up to 3 shock debuffs in a fight, gaining 5 electroshock charges for each shock debuff. Now she's just immune to shock in general, which is really good, man. So that's very nice to have. And also, every time she would get shocked, she's gonna gain 5 charges. So if you're fighting on a node that's going to shock you, right? EMP modification, or I don't even know if there's a node in the future where you hit the opponent and you get shocked, she's going to be so good for that. She's going to be great for Thunderstruck. I think she's going to be good after the buff. We're obviously going to have to see, but as of right now, she's just like nuking things with that special too, and it's definitely, she's playable right now, but she's about to be much easier to play and much more enjoyable and much more practical too. So looking like it's going to be a good buff. Very excited to test it out. This was really just like a damage and you know, how practical it is video. Like it's not a super duper showcase, just to see like what, you know, how long it took before compared to how long after. So yeah, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss, you know, that gameplay when the patch goes live. We're going to be jumping right in. Very excited for this one. If I like her, probably going to take her to rank 3, at least rank 2, unless I pull like Penny Parker first because she's really cool. Who knows, man? Who knows? That's not even important. That's not important. I'm just talking. But that's it for this one. If you enjoyed it, drop a big old like. Comment what you think about pre-buff Nebula in the comment section below. And hit the subscribe button so you don't miss that content coming to you when she gets buffed. I'll be seeing you around.